the bottom line in business. Voice America Business.
Now here's the host of Profitable Investing, Jordan Kimmel.
And folks, welcome back. Welcome back to Profitable Investing with me, your host, Jordan Kimmel. And we're going to go right to Chris Spencer from Wizzard Media. And over there, I see that they have safely serviced and downloaded 1 billion podcasts. And it's amazing who they're doing business with. And all I can say is welcome to the show, Chris Spencer.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Well, listen, it's our pleasure. We love to work and talk with the tops in industry and best in class. It looks like you definitely fit the bill over there. What I want you to do, the M in Magnet stands for management. I know you are the founder and the president, CEO. Why don't we get started with you and your background first, and then we'll get into the specifics of the company.
Sure. My background is kind of simple. I mean, I started off selling stuff when I was a kid. I've always been out there hustling to make a buck. And I went to college for a couple of years, West Virginia University. But I realized pretty quickly that college wasn't for me. So I actually dropped out and bought a couple bars in Morgantown, West Virginia. I ran those for a couple of years. I then got into computers pretty heavy. And we had a lottery brokerage business, basically, and then we went on to a money transfer service with China, believe it or not, kind of like a Western Union service. And then about 12 years ago, we founded Wizzard. My partner Armin Gironian and I founded it originally, and it's been that ever since. So it's pretty much been entrepreneurial. I've never actually had a real job, but I definitely consider Wizzard a real job, of course.
Well, listen, that's a great story in itself, and again, a lot of guys with a lot of energy just don't have time for school, and I try to hide that from my kids because it's a non-traditional route and very difficult for a lot of people. You've obviously done it now. You showed me in a little piece kind of who you've been working with and who your independent and network producers are. Why don't you get into some of the relationships of Wizzard Media and what you actually provide them with?
Sure. Well, we have 12,000 publishers right now, and these publishers create shows, just like a radio show or like a television show, for example, so they're audio or video. And then what we do is we publish them for them. Now you can broadcast it out to the world, for the world to hear, and you don't have the limitations of having to score a television deal or, get on a radio station. And so that's what we basically do for them. As you noted earlier, we did 1 billion downloads last year of these shows, and we're on pace to top that significantly this year. But we have relationships with a lot of the top media companies out there. We have relationships with Usher and Hillary Duff and Quincy Jones in the music side through a great guy named Robert Thorne. We have relationships with NASCAR and with Puma and with lots of other companies that are all out there not only producing shows and publishing them, but also advertising in these shows. They find these as great ways to reach their audiences, and they're finding it to be, very interactive, and the audiences that watch these shows truly like the advertisers and the sponsors that, support their favorite shows.
Right. Well, no doubt about this is a interesting and I know a huge growth business. In fact, Voice America does their own podcast. I was kind of curious if there was any relationship or any discussion yet with the management at Voice America. But what I want you to do is, podcasting, we're just throwing out that word loosely. Maybe we'll get circle back, tell people kind of what it is. How people actually using their cell phones and doing this in their spare time, viewing the shows when they want to, and also kind of some new innovations in the medium of podcasting.
Well, sure, absolutely. Yeah, podcasting is great. It started off kind of as an independent effort where people were making shows, literally in their basements, teaching people how to speak Spanish or, teaching people how to go fishing or, whatever they found interesting. But as podcasting has matured now, that it's grown into, major media companies are also podcasting podcasting their shows. Larry King, Oprah, ESPN, all their shows are now available through podcasting. And so what it is basically people will create a show, whether it be a major media company or a guy in his basement teaching people how to speak Spanish, and they create anywhere from a 5-minute to 1-hour show. What's really interesting about podcasting is it's episodic and subscribable by nature. So they put out a new episode every day, every week, every month based on the show's format. And then they publish it with us. They upload it to us, and then we basically blast it out everywhere across the internet for them. The majority of people, audiences, find podcasts through iTunes, through Microsoft Zune, and some other places out there. And right now, I think there's approximately 130,000 different shows that anybody who wants to can go into their iTunes, download it if you don't have it already, it's free, and then you just go in there, you find shows that you want. I like fishing, so I always look at the fishing shows, and then you click subscribe, and then every time there's a new episode that comes out, it automatically gets downloaded to your computer, and then you can watch it on your computer, or you can put it over on your iPod. You definitely can get podcasts to your cell phone, but it's a very mobile medium, and what's great about it is you can watch the content or listen to the content whenever you want as an audience member. You don't have to be there at 7 o'clock every night. It's basically there for you. You watch it whenever you want, and you can subscribe to any of the shows out there you want for free.